Right, so here we are. Welcome to another Lifessa Lite. Me and Leon are today. We're going to talk on a topic that's building on top of something we've discussed over the last couple of weeks. We've spoken about your support network and how essential it is, your mastermind group and how crucial that is to helping you grow. But then there's a different topic around that, right? Where I think it's good for us to talk because of our difference in circumstance. But how essential it is when you're starting out to have like a strong woman backing you up.
Yeah.
Because so I have my views on what it is, but then I don't have the straight experience that you do because obviously you've got that woman in your life. How essential has it been to you when you've been setting out on new ventures to have someone there for the ups and downs? I don't know, just take me through how it is in your experience.
Well, first of all, she's gonna love knowing that I'm calling her a strong woman now. But it's totally essential, Ben, because if I think about our early days when me and Daniela were together, we went through a lot of tough times. Now, some of the people that would have seen my Weathering the Storm video, and I gave a little bit about that, but it was essential because what she allowed me to do was come up with new ideas, try new ventures, and she will just support me.
Yeah.
But where you need a strong woman is when some things start to go wrong, or when there's bumps along the way. As we know, there's no clean path.
Well, you hit them, right? It just happens.
That's it, and that's gonna happen. She needed to understand that, but I think she came from a point where she's been through her own stuff, where she's a strong person, and she got to a position where she's like, you know what, this is my man and I'm going to support him and I'm going to be there for him. I believe in him, and I think that's key. Just the strong woman, yes, has to believe in your vision as well, but she's then able to take on a lot of stuff within a household that you need, and some people actually take for granted, especially people with kids, for example. You think about daddy's not home often, daddy's out a lot of the time, mum's often there, that strong woman there to keep the household in check, kids in check, school, all of that, homework, all of that sort of, not to say that men don't get involved in that, but if you've got an idea and you want to pursue something, having that strong woman at home can then help, and then you can then sort of, the leash is off for you to then say, look, go and do what you need to do. I'm here, I've got your back. And as I said, when things start to get tough, if you haven't got a strong woman, then things will just start to crumble around you. Because
says to the man who doesn't have a woman, right?
Well, I know what you're saying.
Oh, I'm an anomaly, we know that, right?
Because, like, before Lifessa, I've started on something, and there were times where that weren't really producing. There were certain issues, and if I didn't have a strong woman behind me, then I'm coming home and I'm just crumbled. I'm just crumbling. And but having a strong woman means I can't really come home all like, I gotta be like,
you gotta be the man.
I gotta be the man. You know what I mean? I'm the man in my house, and that can sort of help you because it sort of pushes you, drives you to keep going as well. So having a strong woman is essential, man. You know, there's that saying that you can't, you know, behind every
good man is a strong woman.
Is a strong woman, and that's definite because, you know, we as men we do dumb stuff sometimes.
In fairness, I think we have a tendency to take. I think you hit the nail on the head, right? You have the tendency to take a woman in your life for granted, and I guess she must enhance on what your why is, the purpose. Obviously, when you come home and you've got a wife there, you've got a bit more of a, right, I really know what I'm doing this for. On your down days, she picks you up. But you touched on a topic there that you mentioned a couple of weeks ago as well, where you said, what if your partner doesn't buy into it? So then that was interesting for me, because I thought to myself, well, really, I'm thinking if you've got a strong relationship, they just will buy into it naturally. But I guess maybe, again, I'm taking that for granted. So in your instance, did you have any kind of points in time where you kind of had to do an almost a convincing thing, like, trust me, Daniel, you can believe in me, to get her on board? How did that work in the first place?
Now you've just said that's another, I think, characteristics of maybe a stronger person, that maybe they have a vision themselves that they want, that they can see in you, or maybe a quality they can see in you that you don't see in yourself.
Yeah.
Because me and her never had that period where I needed to sit down and convince her or anything. Maybe when we met, she saw the person that I was and she believed in me from day one.
Yeah.
Or she had her own vision and had her own aspirations of where we want to get to, and she thought, you know what, I can play my role in this by being the strong person behind him to let him go, and then I look at after stuff.
Just they provide that behind the scenes support, you know? So like your support network is different because you reach out to them, they see you from different points, but this is the person who sees you all the time. So when it's tough after a day at work, and almost, but I kind of think I kind of a shooter. I mean, obviously, I don't have a wife, I don't have a girlfriend at the moment, but I've had them in the past, right? And I kind of get it, as much as you say you can't be, you need to come home, you need to be the man. I guess at the same time, they're the person you can be so open with. So when it is actually going bad, you can, you want to be the man of the house, but then if something's really hit you, you can just be open with them and they can just support you through that, because again, you're not relying on a support network that may not be there to see you when you're actually in a hard time. She sees you through all of those, right? So I guess that is essential.
Definitely, like what you said, it's she's seen me at my lowest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's seen me at my lowest, and that was the point I probably didn't make well enough before that I was trying to say, is that when I was at my lowest, if she wasn't strong, then she could also have broke, and then everything would have falling down.
But I think that also, that's almost like a make or break moment, right? Because I think for you, from either the female's perspective or the male's perspective, if you get to a point in time where your partner can see you at your lowest point, but doesn't discard you, that's when you know it's actually something there.
Definitely.
And this person I can trust to go with me on the long journey, as opposed to someone, because it's all well and good being around when everything's going good, right? But when it gets bad, are you just going to hit the dust, or are you going to be there for me? And if they're there for you in that moment, then you know you can trust them in the long run. And if they're there for you in that moment, they deserve to take kind of the fruits of your labours at the end goal of it, right?
100%. And now we do, and the thing is now, where she's now developed her own passion to pursue her own goals. Yeah. And that's now where, and don't get me wrong, I have to be honest, that transition was a little bit difficult. Yeah. Because
it's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah, it's like, it's good to have that because it brings the whole.
I was doing it, and she was at home looking. You know, I wouldn't say not that I don't get involved in bringing up and looking after my daughter. I do. Yeah. But when I am out working and trying to do stuff, as we've spoken about, using your time right, and if I'm working a certain amount of hours a day, then I've got other hours in the day that I sort of need to allocate to trying to pursue my goals. So at times she would take over that baton and keep the household going. But then when it was like, you know what, I want to start doing some stuff myself because I've got my own aspirations, I've got my own goals, I've got my own passion now, that transition was a little bit hard. And then again, I don't know whether being strong translates necessarily into you wanting to pursue your goals, because being strong could just be that you play your role in whatever.
And you could just weather the storm, as you talked about a couple of weeks ago. And I think the challenge and the reason we've got a good kind of balance in this conversation is because I think part of it is you managed to find that woman at the start of the journey. I think on the counter side, on my side, like I think you said to me, you were like, how are you gonna find a woman if you don't make time? And I was like, no, you don't understand it. For the right woman, I'll make time. It's just I haven't met the right one who kind of ticks all the boxes, who's going to be there to support, who's ready to accept I will spend time working, but I won't work as relentlessly as I do now because I'll make time in that balance. So I think for me, it's all, life just works out in funny ways, right? I think if I'm looking at it from somebody who's on the other side of the spectrum, I would have liked to have found somebody before getting started. I think it becomes more challenging. I said to you, I was like, I spend less time going out, I spend less time being out there on the scene, so it becomes more challenging to meet somebody. But at the same time, there are countless times. Well, look at you. I know you got a joke last night on Snapchat. I was like, yeah, he's my hero. But at the same time, when you talk to me, you're like, when I'm talking like I'm working all the like late at night and early in the morning, you're like, oh, my hero, because the work ethic. At the same time, I look at someone like you and look at Josh, who's got his thing going on, and I'm like, that for me is, I'm like, wow, you guys you're doing what we're doing here, but you've got the balance as well. So I guess sometime I'm going to come across somebody crazy enough to deal with me, right? But I think it just definitely is. I think what we touched on, and I think it is really essential. I think for me, life works in funny ways.
Yeah.
I personally think, from seeing you and others who have got strong relationships, it's beneficial for you to try and get that before you go on any endeavour.
Yeah.
But at the same time, do you know what? Like I say, life works in funny ways. I'm not a believer in dealing with a mediocre relationship. That's why I've spent the majority of my time single, because I'm like, I only believe in looking for something kind of exceptional that will lift you up, right? So at the same time, I think sometimes you just have to deal with it. You may want to find somebody, but you shouldn't go out and find somebody who's not authentic and really going to be there for you, because it will just become almost, if a relationship doesn't work, it becomes like another job, right? And then they are going to be the ones who, when you're down and out, they're going to be the ones who dust off, and then you've just got, right, I've just been knocked down, I'm about to get up, I've just been double knocked down again, right? So I think it's good that we touched on how important they are. I think it's good, again, I think it's a good balance that we've got in here because of our situations. Just to see, I think the consensus is, if you could find that person before you kick off on a new venture, great. At the same time, I would say don't force it and try and just fill the void.
You can't force it. Relationships is something that you can't force. You have to feel it.
It's the one. That's the only frustrating thing for me, right? It's the one thing that I can't control in my life. Everything else I can control by work and passion and discipline and execution, right? And this, out of my control.
No, you can't control it. But you want to find that strong woman, because you know what a strong woman will do as well? She's not going to stay in a relationship just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Whereas you get, and sorry for people that do this, but I feel if you're in a relationship just because you're afraid of being alone, then that's not a reason. It's safety, right?
And I've seen that happen.
And that's what a strong lady will do for you as well, because she's going to keep you in a situation that you know you're good in. You're good. You're not going to be thinking, one day.
You haven't got to worry. It's an additional burden. Like you said, it's not that. You don't have to worry, one, that they're going to disappear. Like, things happen in relationships, but you know, right, if I run into challenges, if I have to break bad news to her, she can take it. And I think some of those, you just need to see those things happen and what their response is. Do they run? Do they stay with you? But I think it's definitely essential, if they're there, that goes beyond the support network. That's your support partner, right? They're there through the thick and thin. So I even without seeing it, going obviously past instances where I have been in relationships, and then seeing it firsthand. I think when I've been older and I see people actually going, kind of jumping straight in, going for really like a new passion or something. You just look from the outside and I'm like, wow, you can really see how essential that is to them, that they've got that person at home.
100%, man, 100%. You know, I feel, I wake up in the morning and I feel like I can take on the world, but also I'm like, me and her are going to take on the world. She's like, me and him are going to take on the world. And I look at her and I'm like, you're a strong woman. And I look at my daughter and I'm like, you're a strong little girl, and you're strong because of her and the values that we're installing in her. But it's essential, I think, for you to progress in life is to have a strong woman. And I look at all my friends, and this isn't only about you wanting to pursue goals to open a business or anything like that. It's even to get promoted in work or whatever. You still need a strong woman at home. And I look at a lot of my friends, and a lot of my friends' wives, and they're like, strong woman.
Yeah. Because you see, it's like I say, and for me, when I look around, you can see it from the outside. You see the difference from when they're in one situation to when they're in another. To be honest, it's one of these I'm sitting and thinking on my head. It would be interesting to hear from, maybe getting a female at some point and just see, because I mean, it should be the same on both sides, right? But let's be honest, females probably face a different bit of a challenge because of how a male is seen in society and a female is seen in society. 100%. So it'd be interesting to see that. So maybe we'll do that on a future Lifessa Lite session.
Definitely.
But no, I think it was good to touch on this topic, and I think it brings us full circle and kind of not closes off. We'll discuss it any further ones, but it kind of brings off support network, mastermind, and then my support partner. So we'll wrap this one up, but as ever, follow us on the YouTube channel, subscribe to it. You'll find this posted on SoundCloud as well. You can always pop along to our Facebook. We love any comments on anything else that you want to hear. You can check us out on www.lifessa.com, where we post all of our articles. We're integrating the whole network into there. So any of those, hit us up on our website. We always love the feedback. Anything you want to hear about, any comments, keep it coming. I appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time.
Nice.